my best advice for new real estate investors. Now, this is not financial advice. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a CPA. I'm actually a refugee that came to America that was lucky enough to turn $100 into 3 successful businesses debt-free, which I owned for 14, 15 years. And then I donated most of my stuff to the homeless because I was not happy by the definition of success in America. And I went homeless like Buddha and Jesus did. So when I reflect back on the mistakes that I've made and the wins that I've made, I want to do a quick video of my best advice for real estate investors. But again, this is not financial or legal advice. Okay, these are just my opinions. Now, the very first thing is that it doesn't matter if you're trying to be a wholesaler, you're trying to be a landlord, you're trying to buy houses subject to, if you're trying to do fix and flip. In real estate, the very most important thing about getting leads consistently, which means over and over, cyclical, is leads. So please listen to what I'm saying. If you don't have leads, you're not going to be successful. So the pitfall, the trap is that many people spend days and months and weeks and years learning. They spend a lot of capital on logo creation, website creation, buying courses, learning the ins and outs of all different strategies out there. But when it comes to start their business, they don't succeed is because they have no leads. The leads is the fuel line for your success. Imagine the leads being the blood in your body. If you have no blood, you'll die. I don't care how great and smart your brain is or how strong your muscles are. No blood, no energy, no oxygen, suffocation. No leads, no energy, suffocation for your business, for your real estate business. It doesn't matter if you're trying to be a fix and flipper, a landlord, buying houses subject to, wholesale. So the very first advice, if I can say that again, I'm not giving financial advice but just my opinions, is that if you don't have leads, you're gonna lose. Okay, simple. Number 2 thing is that I always have a saying that says, start where you stand. Start where you stand. And that means that instead of spending so much time trying to learn, the step number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, continuously learning all the way to infinity, start where you stand, which is learn step number 1 and then go take action. And when you get to step number 2, then take time to learn step number 2 and you take action. What I see from a lot of my mentees, and I even was the same exact thing happened to me, is that I learned so much, right? I wanted to learn about storage investing. I want to learn about commercial. I want to learn about single residential. I want to learn about lease options. I want to learn about hard money. I want to learn about, fix and flips. And I want to learn about landlording. And I real quickly realized that is an endless pit of money expenditure, that I'm never going to be a master of any of this stuff if I want to just jump around. So I came back to the very first golden rule, which I share with you, is lead production. So I start learning that I already knew how to generate leads because I already had multiple successful businesses with zero money I started. So I already knew how to generate leads. So I went to the golden rule. Let me generate leads. Once the leads came in, I picked up the phone and then I talked to the sellers. And then my thing was, well, how do I talk to them? What do I say? How do I know if they're motivated or not? Right. So step number 1 was lead. Step number 2 is what do I say? And then I created myself a phone script through a lot of failures. And step number 3, if you're interested in any of these, like my phone script, you can download it at my real estate dojo. But step number 2, phone script. Step number 3, okay, they're motivated. Now, how do I structure these deals? And step number 4, do I want to do, fix and flip? Do I want to be a landlord? And I already knew I wanted to be a landlord, so I didn't have to, confused too much with that. Then I want to do wholesaling. At that time, when I started in real estate, I did not want to do wholesaling. I had 3 successful businesses that were making me significant cash flows month after month. So I didn't want to do wholesaling. I just wanted to, lower my taxes. I wanted to build equity. I wanted to build wealth. And, I wanted to buy homes subject to. I wanted to, buy owner financing. I didn't want to borrow money from a stinky banker. I didn't want to get into debt using my social security or using my company EIN number, employee identification number. I didn't want to do any of that stuff, guys. So once I learned, the strategy that I want to do, because I quickly thought about it and I figured, okay, this is what I want to do. So the point I'm saying is that don't go from, your step. Let's say if you're brand new, you're starting out and you're at step 0. Don't learn about step 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and just keep learning and learning, because the more you go down the steps, the more information you're going to need to know, all the way down to closing, title, liens. I mean, it's a continuous learning thing. And what happens is a lot of the students that I have and a lot of people that I see that fail in this business is that they spend all their time and energy just learning and learning and learning, okay? And they don't make it, okay? Because if they wanted to make it, it would require, lead production. And many people are not going to put the time and energy into lead production because guess what? Because they spend all the time and energy and money in learning. So don't be that dude or that girl or that individual, okay? So my very first advice is lead production. My second advice is don't get into the infinite dark pit of learning, okay? Just go by one step. Once you generate that lead, then what do you say to them? What I call my ninja phone script. Once you generate the lead, how are you going to identify them if they're motivated or not? Then how are you going to structure the deal? Are you going to get hard money? Are you going to buy a subject to? Are you going to use your own cash? Or, whatever the story may be. But if you're figuring out step number 4 and you don't have any leads, you can see that, you're not going to go anywhere because you're never going to get to step number 4 without having leads. Okay. And then, the other point that I like to make is that, I see a lot of people spending a lot of money in, all kinds of stuff like websites, logos, shirts, LLCs, this, and they haven't even done a deal yet, right? Because it's very, very easy to spend money. Every fool out there, every guru out there wants you to spend money. I'm at my real estate dojo, me, Mr. No Fluff, I like my students to start with, with $100 or what I call house money, where they invest that $100 in what I call the new flipping bicycles. They make 10, 20 grand and then they take their $100 out. So they're, using all free money, house money. It's not their own money. And then they use that money for marketing. They use that money to hire virtual assistants to help them. They use that money for Facebook marketing and so on and so on and so on. Okay. And use that money to buy logos and etc. And they do a real estate deal, right? So there's a system to it. I know there's so much information out there, and that's why it's beneficial that if you're new, you join my academy, because in my academy, for just a few bucks a month, you get to actually sit down with me one-on-one, and I'll evaluate your situation and your business and give you an actual blueprint custom made just for your needs and for your lacks and strength, okay? And on top of that, I'll give you some of my best-selling courses, let you download it instantly, so courses that I sell for thousands of dollars, okay? Like Flipping Wednesdays and the Mother course, you get to actually download all of it instantly, okay? And at the same time, we have coaching on a monthly basis. So it's a very, very cool program. It's called the academy.mrnofluff.com. But going back to the story, guys and gang and ladies, is that if you don't have leads, you ain't going to be successful. If you don't just keep learning and learning and learning and learning and learning and learning and get in that trap, you'll never take step number 1, which is lead production, okay? And the last thing I want to let you guys know is always remember, you're braver than you believe. You're stronger than you seem. You're smarter than you think, and twice as beautiful as you ever imagined. Romy. All right, guys, thanks so much. Click the like button, share this message, and don't take no for an answer.